Today I'm going to transform my digital camera into an analog camera, or maybe just half of it, since I will be using this analog lens on my digital camera. The main differences between an analog lens and a modern digital lens relate to their design, usage, and how they interact with the camera systems. Analog lenses were primarily designed for film cameras and operate without digital assistance. They are entirely mechanical, relying on manual focus and aperture control. Digital lenses are designed for modern digital cameras with features like autofocus, electronic aperture control, and often image stabilization. They communicate with the camera's digital system to provide enhanced functionality. Using an analog vintage lens on a modern digital camera offers several unique benefits that many photographers find appealing. While these lenses lack of the electronic features of modern lenses, they have distinctive characteristics that can give an image a more artistic or personalized look. Here are some pro aspects and the visual qualities an analog lens can bring to digital photography. Analog lenses often produce images with a classic film-like look, thanks to the older optical designs and coatings. These include softer contrast, gentle vignetting, and a unique rendering of color and light. The outer focus areas from analog lenses tend to be smoother and more distinctive. Each lens may have a unique bokeh pattern, giving more character to portraits and close-up shots. Older analog lenses tend to produce more prominent and interesting lens flares or light artifacts due to simpler coatings. While modern lenses minimize these effects, analog lenses can create artistic flares that add character, particularly in backlit conditions. Now you might be wondering, how am I able to use an analog lens on a digital camera? To make this happen, I'm using this adapter by K&F Concept, who is the sponsor of this video. I have several adapters with different mounting options. This one is suitable for a Minolta lens to be mounted on a Sony E-mount. It functions mechanically, which is no problem since the lens doesn't have any automatics. If you're interested in using this adapter yourself, you can click on the link in the description, and you can also get 20% off by using the code in the description. Thanks a lot K&F Concept for sponsoring this video. To test this adapter and use my analog lens on a digital camera, Magda and I did a small photo walk in our neighborhood. Since I'm not very good at street photography, I wanted to use the situation to get better and try something completely new. The first photo I took was from this beautiful old building. I really love the color contrast between the orange or brown building against the bright blue sky. I think the photo turned out okay. I came across a first real challenge with this analog lens because this image is not entirely sharp as it could have been. Same problem with the next photo I took of this power box. I wanted to capture these moving plants around it, but I totally missed the focus on this one. We continued walking a bit, and this street fascinated me somehow, because of its silence and plants growing all over the gardens and pavement. So I took the chance and photographed it. I really like how the image captures the atmosphere of the street, but I'm not sure about the quality and composition of this image. It has this leading light towards nothing, and the middle isn't entirely sharp as well. The scenery completely changed across the street due to a small industrial part of the neighborhood. But what really caught my eye here were these trash bins surrounded by plants and flowers. I really liked this contrast and the sunlight shining onto it, so I took the shot. This is the first image of the day that I really like, and I think this one turned out pretty nice. I also took a photo of this new school that's currently in the building process, and another one of some transporters parking and some pallets in the foreground. And unfortunately I missed the focus on this one too. We made our way from the streets to our beautiful river and walked a few meters beside of it. The sun was very beautiful on this day, so I took some shots of the river and the greenery around. I really like how the sunlight is being reflected on the water, and here you can really see that this was shot with an analog lens. This kind of halation is difficult to create with a digital lens, and I think this really adds to this photo. I took some more photos of the surrounding as well as this older building. We walked a bit further and reached this view into another street which looked somehow surreal with this lovely car parked in front of it. And I think this photo turned out really nice. Right here I saw this trash bin surrounded by flowers again and took some shots of it. Really loving the outcome of this with the flowers gently hugging the trash bin and the warm tones. Then we heard a helicopter coming closer and I tried to give it a try, but I really struggled here to get it in focus in time. These were the two shots that kind of looked okay to me. As we almost came back to the street, I saw this hedge and it looked really cool with this natural division of plants. I also love how those berries are illuminated by the sunlight, so I took multiple shots and I couldn't decide between those two. What's your personal favorite? Then I took a simple shot of the street because I really loved the emptiness of it. Usually it's quite busy here, but on this photo it looks like a ghost town with those big trees and old buildings on the sides. But other than that, this image isn't as interesting in my opinion. Following the street, we had a little encounter with this lovely cat who kept meowing at us, asking for some cuddles. I again struggled a bit to get some good shots in a short time because of the cat moving too fast for me to focus correctly. The saturation made me wish for a digital lens here, but I think I captured some nice images as well. Now, what is my opinion on using an analog lens on a digital camera? To be honest, I actually struggled a bit to get my main subject in focus. If you're not used to focus manually on your digital camera, it might be a little bit tricky to get used to it. But other than that, I'm really happy with the quality of the images. I think this lens really gives this nostalgic and artistic look to the images, and I will definitely use this lens again, maybe for some portraits. If you have any suggestions for me when I should use this lens again, feel free to write them down in the comments, and I'm really interested in your opinion. What's your favorite image? Would you use this adapter or would you use an analog lens on a digital camera as well? Feel free to write them down in the comments. And if you're interested in part 2 of me using an analog lens on a digital camera, feel free to subscribe to this channel and stick around. I will be very grateful and I will see you in the next one.